part of why you're looking into the marketing.
Mhm.
But what's one of the reasons why you want to grow into marketing? I know you want to branch out into this department and grow new skill sets. But what's calling you about it?
So actually, when I first started school here, I was going into like investment banking and like finance or consulting in that field. So I did kind of like a little club at my school, and it wasn't really for me. And I started kind of branching out. Since I'm an economics major, I started just doing different things that are kind of in that realm. Um, Starting with marketing, it was this one club at my school for this magazine, and I kind of really liked like the face-to-face contact with it was like kind of like a case where we had like clients and then we would like try to help them. It was still kind of consulting based, but I like how creative marketing can be. It's kind of like you create your own type of plan and things like that. So I kind of wanted to grow more into that field. And then I just started shifting into marketing more, kind of doing my own research on it, like online. And then I know there's different types of marketing too. There's like a PR type, like public relations type of marketing. And then there's kind of more mathematical marketing where you're kind of looking at like financial and like seeing like the analytics of how many people like reached your whatever you're marketing, kind of things like that. So kind of based on my own research as well and like my own experiences, I kind of started to go into more marketing. And then kind of during winter break when I went back home to Korea, my dad has like this business that he does there. And then he was kind of talking more about the marketing that he does in Asia and different things like that. And then it all kind of clicked for me. And even though I'm kind of new at this and I don't really know about this field, learning more about it was kind of interesting to me. And ultimately, when I want to work full time, I want to work doing something that I enjoy, even from the bottom. So, since I enjoy it, even not knowing anything and just learning about it, I felt like this field was right for me.
All right, awesome. And that just the way how you're talking about it, it shows that you have some kind of inclination towards with your family, doing some kind of marketing experience before, and that sort of helped you out resonate with it a little bit more as well, which is awesome. You always want to do something that you want to enjoy, just like you're saying. You just don't want to do a regular job where it's a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, and it feels
Right.
like a task.
Yeah.
Okay. And I really appreciate that you enjoy learning, because it shows that you're not going to wait for somebody like myself or anybody else around, to show you the actual proper things. You're going to go out of your way to find things out, just like you did with the different marketing aspects that we have. All right. Awesome. And so, one last question for you. So, like I said, this is more going to be so I can get to know you a little bit better in our personal words. What are some hobbies that you do in your free time? What do you like
Um,
doing?
I really like cooking, so like learning new recipes. So
I
since
did
I
hear
do
about the
live
cooking. Okay.
yeah, since I do live alone, like sometimes I like to host things. So if it's like dinner party with my friends, I kind of like print out a menu and like do things like that. I like having something kind of like at the end of the week to look forward to. So I like planning things a lot, whether that be like trips or things like that. Something about like organizing things and then having control of it is like very interesting and fun to me. Um, I also like going to like hockey games, baseball games. Been really into that lately. And this is kind of like a hobby that I had since like high school. I'm not really sure if it's considered a hobby, but I really like interior designing. So I kind of just like rearrange my room every month or so, move my bed around and things like that.
I personally do believe it's a hobby because it goes into like part of hygiene, cleanliness, but it goes into creativeness because sometimes you see your room and you're like, man, I don't like how it looks right now. I say that because I have that inclination of changing my room several times throughout the year.
Yeah,
Um, I probably put up shelving. I'll go to Home Depot, buy regular pieces of lumber, create my own
yeah.
shelving, take it apart, create some different type of shelving by 6 months or later down the year, where I keep painting my room. I just keep doing little things here and there all the time,
Yeah.
because it just gives me some kind of. I don't know where I got it from. I think it's something from about being Zen. It's just the way how the room makes you feel. There's gonna be times where the room just welcomes you in a different aspect or a different light. It's all gonna be perspective. All right, awesome.
English
Well,
as well.
thank you for sharing that with me. For cooking, I see that I saw that you said that you like cooking, creating your own menus and planners. What's your favorite thing to cook so far?
I feel like my specialty is Korean food just because like that's kind of what I grew up learning. But recently I've been making a lot of like tacos, um, looking more into that. And it's been like 3 nights in a row where I'm just making tacos.
That's awesome. What kind of tacos were you making?
I'm making like chorizo tacos. So it's like chorizo and then I grab the tortilla, put cheese on it, kind of like birria, but not really with the consomme, I
Yeah,
guess.
I get what I'm really glad you know about birria and consomme, because a lot of people are not too aware of the taco, where you just dip it into the consomme, or you can just drink it like a soup. On point. All right, thank you. You just made me hungry. I'm sorry. All right. You said your specialty is Korean food. One of the main dishes I've been waiting to try is this Korean waffle that I saw on a YouTube channel where it's made out of just Oreos. They crush the Oreo shells and put it into the cake batter for the waffle. And in my head, I'm like,
Oh,
and in my head, I thought to myself, I'm like, it seems like it's gonna be too sweet, but I still want to try it.
oh, I have not made that. I know there's like Oreo churros that I tried to make, but
Yeah,
I've never tried to make an Oreo waffle. That
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
really good.
I actually tried the Oreo churros, but I think they were a little stale, so they're not as good that they're supposed to be. But I'm like, okay, they're not bad. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it, Jennifer. Just so I can share a little bit about you, about myself with you, so that we were not both strangers on this call. I'm currently 33 years old. I've been in this specific market for about 7 months now. Before jumping into this field, I was actually not a market. I was a logistics manager. I have
Oh,
about
okay.
10 years about managing experience in logistics, warehouses, small office departments. But every time I got into one of those jobs, I started from the very bottom. I was a regular picker, packer, a manual labor job, where I worked my way up into the management fields. But unfortunate for me, I don't have a bachelor's. I don't have a master's. All my experience comes through work experience. So a lot of times when you're in a workplace, they want you to have some kind of degree in order for you to be moved up into an administrative role for the managerial side. Every time there was a managerial opening for my end on my jobs, I always try to put my name in there. But they said, "Oh, you need a degree. You need this. You need that." So my work didn't. Wasn't enough to validate what I was doing with them. They still wanted more from me. Unfortunately for me, I had to look for something else where I found this place where even with my manager experience, I said, I'm going to learn a lot more within the first couple of weeks that I was here compared to what
Yeah,
I've been taught or learned for my last 10 years of managerial experience, which is insane for me to say that. All right.
right.
So besides that, I'm pretty straightforward. I'm bland, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty boring. The main things that I like are camping, hiking. I love spending some time with my friends, but I don't get to spend as much time as I used to. Uh, I'm sort of an introvert, where I do like talking to people. I might seem a little bit outgoing, but from time to time, you'll see me just on my notebook, writing down notes, watching a video, trying to learn something new. Because I do like that quiet space, that quiet headspace that you get when you're by yourself quite a bit of the time. Like I said, I am an introvert. But besides that, anytime I get a chance, I'm out in the woods, camping, hiking. I love visiting Los Angeles National Forest, Padres National Forest, which is they're pretty close to us here in LA. But it's just the tranquility of being out in nature. It's serene.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm a really big fan of music. Anytime I get a chance, I'm listening to new music. Even if it's not my taste, I'm still giving it a chance because I want to be inspired by some kind of new kind of format of rhythms, anything that's just going to be a little bit more lively. Um, and I bring that up because even though I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan, she just dropped the album last year. I give it a chance. I'm like, okay, I'm not a fan of the whole album, but I'll listen to Flowers a couple times. And I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Little things like that, I would never caught myself listening to Flowers 10 years ago. Um, but now I'm all like, why not? She buys herself flowers to make herself happy. Let's go.
I have.
Sorry to ramble on about that. But yeah, that's really much about myself. Like I said, I'm pretty straightforward and bland. I can for this part of the interview, I can wrap this part up and jump into a program interview. That's okay with you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
Right.
great.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So right now, I am going to be describing our program. It's meant to be 6 to 9 months. For the 6 to 9 months, we take candidates from the entry level and work them all the way up to the executive branch. Is that something you're looking to put yourself forward right now, Jennifer?
Yes, I actually still have school left to finish up in the summer, but I'm planning to move down to LA in September. I'm not sure if that's too late for this position, but I still have, I am graduating a little bit early, but I still have summer to kind of finish up all my classes.
Mm. And you said you're currently located out in Davis, right? UC.
Yeah.
Mhm. So that is a bit out in the future for September. If I'm being honest, we're looking for candidates that are wanting to start real quick. I see that you do want to start and you do want to grow a little bit more. I will do my best to keep an opening up for you around that period of time when it comes around. But I just can't guarantee it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's keep going with this. Right now, you are applying for a marketing manager here at MCO's Enterprise. What we're going to be doing is going to be working directly with TrueConnect and the California Lifeline Service. Would you happen to know either of these programs?
I think I've heard of True Connect, but I'm not really sure.
All right, so TrueConnect is going to be a free phone service. It's going to be a company that does telemarketing. They're anything like Metro PCS, Mint Mobile, Cricket. They're smaller, but they work with a bigger branch. Right now, TrueConnect works directly with T-Mobile or Verizon, depending on what kind of phone service we have at the time. But we provide people through the California Lifeline a free phone service. Anybody who gets Medicaid, Medi-Cal, even veterans that are qualified through their Army, their retirement from the Army, Navy, Air Force doesn't really matter. And also retirees, so people that have gone through the whole program. I mean, through the whole their whole life working and just receive SSI and just have that privilege to retire now.
Oh, I
All right.
see.
So we our marketing approach is going to be direct marketing approach. So we do door to door. Okay. And for that, we just go directly to the people and verify with them that their benefits are still active and give them a free phone, which we help people save over $1,000 a year, if not more, depending on what kind of program they qualify with us, which is pretty awesome. How do you feel about the community outreach program that we work with, helping people save so much money a year?
I think it's very like nice and it's a good program to help people.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I like getting paid. I'm not gonna lie to you about that part. But one of my favorite things to go out there is just go out there and look for at least one person that I actually genuinely helped. Because a lot of people that we help, they're like, okay, this is gonna help me out a lot. But it sometimes you'll be surprised. You're like, oh my god, you just made my day. Thank you. It's a blessing. When people react like that, it just like it overwhelms me, and I just keep going with an even better attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Uh, so besides that, we do work with 64 different clients, Jennifer. We don't just work with TrueConnect and the California Lifeline. We work with AT&T, Verizon, Sam's Club, Costco, Nestle, just to name a few of the biggest branches. And one of the reasons I'm bringing these branches up is because being that they're billion-dollar companies, every kind of candidate we want to promote out into management, we need them to grow from the bench for the entry level to the executive branch. And that's why we have this MIT program that's 6 to 9 months. Right.
Okay.
The reason why these companies work with us is our direct marketing approach. For direct marketing, indirect marketing approaches, they're pretty similar but different at the same time. For indirect marketing, it's going to be something that's impersonal, a flyer, banner, billboard, storefront. All these are indirect because people have to go out of their way to actually go to them. Compared to us, we're a direct marketing approach where we go door to door, face to face with the people, and we're a little bit more personal. Where indirect marketing approach is impersonal, it's extremely broad. You make a commercial and it's going to reach a million people, but out of the million people, only 100 really resonate with it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference from us. For us, the direct marketing approach is going to be extremely personal, where we cater to people's needs and wants directly with them.
Okay, I
Okay.
see.
And the reason why I'm bringing up these two different approaches because for indirect marketing, TrueConnect only brings in 700 customers per year. So in 1 year, they're only bringing in about 700 new customers. For us, the direct marketing approach, we're bringing in 2,300 customers per month. So just in
Yeah.
1 month, we overlap them by 3 times. In 1 year, we overlap them by 20 to 30 times, depending on our averages, of course.
Mm,
All right. So just on those numbers, we are 80% of TrueConnect's customer acquisition. So without us, TrueConnect will literally wither away. And that's one of the main reasons, or the main reason why TrueConnect wants us to promote 20 to 25 new managers within the next year. Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
in total, we have 44 different offices. For those 44 different offices, I seen three different promotions within the last 7 months from our own office, which is pretty awesome to say. The first person that got promoted when I got here was this gentleman that was with the program for about 9 months. He went out to South Carolina. He started with TrueConnect, giving away the free phones as well, and now he transitioned to Verizon. Verizon saw how great he was doing with TrueConnect that they wanted to bring him on board with them. It is a bigger company; they do pay out a lot more, but they also demand a lot more from you.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And the other two people that I saw get promoted was the person that recruited me into the business as well. He was just promoted 3 months ago, and he's also doing Verizon out in Colorado, which is pretty amazing. We get to see how we work with one company, but we branch out with all these different companies that we work with in our portfolio.
Oh, I see.
Okay. How do you
So
feel about that? Working with more than just one company or having that liberty?
I think it's good experience to like have something to work up towards, and it's also kind of rewarding if you're doing well. Then they kind of see and you kind of get acknowledged for that. So I think it's good.
Yeah, of course. And all those little things are always things that the customer and the client notice right away. All right. So that's really much for the program and how we help our clients. I can go into the schedule and the phases of the program. Okay.
Okay.
So for phase of the program, like I said, it's 6 to 9 months. We have three different phases for this program. The first phase is going to be the entry level. For the entry level, it's going to be just the basics, the foundations, product knowledge, tech issues, compliance, anything that's going to help you work with the client directly with themselves, including their time management. All right.
Mhm.
For this part of the program, you're working as an entry, so you're just doing the basics, which you're starting to learn how to sell, which is going to be the main thing. We say sell, but we give away free phones right now at the moment. Selling would be more if you work with Verizon or something of the sort.
Yeah.
But it's just the basics. We show you what it is you need to do to actually be successful in the first part of the program. All right. For this, it's only 3 to 5 weeks just because it's the foundation. But for this part, you can finish as little as 5 days. It's up to you. There's been people that finish the first part of the program within the first week, just depending on what kind of mindset you have. Talking to you right now, I see that you're an extremely organized person who's just gonna plan everything out and weed out your things right in front of you, which is pretty awesome. All right. Uh, for this part of the program, you're making anything from $500 to $800 a week. It's all high performance commission. How do you feel about working for a commission job?
Yeah, I think it's okay for me.
Okay, perfect. The reason I asked for a commission job about a commission job is because a lot of people have this 9 to 5 mentality where they're not used to working for themselves or working hard. Where a lot of us clock in and expect to get paid. But
Yeah.
I see that you're extremely motivated, so I'm pretty sure you can break any kind cap you could have got anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right. And the second part of the program is going to be our account manager. This is the part where I'm currently at. I'm at. It's meant to be 4 to 6 months. It's the longest part of the program, but it's also the most endearing part of the program as well, because it shows
Mhm.
you all the kinds of skill sets that you need to actually be successful in our business. It shows you how to work with a small group of people, and it develops you into a proper trainer, mentor, leader, whatever kind of skill sets that you need to actually be successful in managing people.
Okay.
Right. And for this part of the program, you're going to be taking on interviews just like I am, training, and all these kinds of things that's going to help you on the managerial side. It's meant to be
Mhm.
4 to 6 months, but for this part of the program, you can make anything from 1,000 to $1,400 a week. Right. It's all going to depend on you. Like I said, it's still going to be high performance commission. So the $1,400 a week that I'm talking about is just a baseline because there's reps that can make over $2,000 a week, depending on their skill sets, of course.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Okay. And like I said, 4 to 6 months for that part. The last part and the third and final part for our program is going to be the assistant manager. For the assistant manager, you're no longer doing the direct marketing approach. You are only doing in office approaches now. So at this point, you're only doing dealing with first round interviews. I think you got it. You had a chance to have our first round interview one of our admins, Mariana, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So things like that you would be taking on yourself, which you're gonna decide what kind of candidates we move on to the second round. You get to pick and choose what kind of candidates you actually want to work in our business as well. Um, it's all about criteria and just personal choice. How do you feel about being the type of person that's gonna choose who gets to work in the company or not?
Yeah, it is something that I want to learn, kind of also learning what qualities to look for in other people and things like that. So, yeah, it's
If
experience.
I can be honest with you, my main quality to look for a person is, I don't want to say personality, but
Mhm.
personal intrigue.
Mhm.
You from yourself, you seem like you're a motivated person. Automatically, I'm putting lots of checks on next to your name. Like
Oh,
that's a guarantee. Anything like that, because if you get a candidate that's has no questions, has no kind of feedback, all these little things, you usually want to put them at the bottom of the list.
oh yeah.
Unfortunately for them, there's that's just one of those things that you pick up.
Mm.
Okay. So besides that, for the account manager, for the system manager part, you're also going to be dealing directly with onboarding, orientations. You're going to be dealing directly with the people on the first day. Also, you're going to start dealing with the customer face to face, so they can actually get some face time with you and start knowing who you are and who they're going to be working with. Okay.
Oh,
And for this, it's going to be 8 weeks, and it's $1,000 salary. You're no longer doing the commission part for this part of the program.
oh, okay.
Okay. Um, and that's really much for the program, the 6 to 9 months. After that, you jump into rookie manager. The only reason it's called a rookie manager is because it's your first year. For the
Mm.
first year as a rookie manager, you can make anything from 152K to 156K per year, just starting off. Okay. The reason why the salary jumps so high is because at this point, you're directly running a small group of people and dealing with a specific small branch of a market.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so that's really much for the executive branch. Do you have any questions about working your way from entry level to the executive branch?
I do have a question. So I know there's a lot of like face-to-face interaction with clients and customers and things like that that you mentioned, but is it mostly like we're kind of just doing our own thing and running our own like our own kind of training and like doing our individual tasks, or is it like do we still come together as a group to like
Oh,
discuss?
got it, got it. No, we're always going to be in a group. We meet every single day at the mornings, just so we can game plan throughout the day. We talk to ourselves, or we talk with each other throughout the day because we do have group chats. We always interact with each other. We're never going to be left alone, even if we're knocking on the door by ourselves. There's going to be somebody in the next block that can have a conversation with you. There's somebody on the WhatsApp that can give you some kind of feedback, or vice versa. But it's always going to be
Oh,
a community thing where we're not going to be working by ourselves,
okay.
which I think is one of the main things you're looking for, right?
Mhm. Or it's just kind of like individual tasks are also okay with me, but I just kind of like I think like the community of how like the work environment is also like something I learned that is very important for me.
No, 100%, 100%. The reason you say that, reminds me that that's one of the reasons why I stuck around. Because my last job was I was a manager, I was in charge. I told everybody what to do. Uh,
Oh,
Here's your task, do this. Here's your task, do this. It was not a community. It was just more like one person telling everybody to do. Here, it's yeah, we're all learning. We're a community. We're all developing each other. We're all being as positive as possible.
okay, perfect.
Okay. So besides that, you have any other question for
Um,
the?
I don't think in at the moment, but
Okay. Okay.
if I do,
Perfect.
I will let you know.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, thank you. So right now I'll let you know about our schedule. Like I said, we are a 6 to 9 month program, and we do work 6 days a week. The reason why we work 6 days a week is because we take 3 to 5 years of experience and cram it down to 6 to 9 months,
Yeah.
and that's going to help us develop as fast as possible, or we just gain as much experience as possible in that small amount of time. All right. For Monday to Friday, we are in the office from 10:30 to 12:30, working on workshops, webinars, one-on-one, anything that's going to help us develop ourselves. Like I said, we do come in as a community in the mornings where we game plan together, and we have these morning meetings where we're just trying to make each other's day better by developing one another. All right. For the second part of the day, it's going to be our door-to-door approach. So the direct marketing approach from 12:30 to about 7, we're out of the field doing the direct marketing approach. We're giving leads on a day-to-day basis of the places that we can visit and talk to the people. Right. And for that, it's just literally walking down the street, talking to a bunch of neighbors, and having good interactions. If I'm being
Mm.
honest, before this job, I was an introvert. I would not have talked to you so much throughout this interview. I believe my first couple interviews were 10 to 15 minutes long at the most. Um,
Oh,
so I would just go through everything as quick as possible, and I wouldn't give any kind of like my personal aspect to it, or just any kind of personality to it. But right now, the actual experiences that we've had, knocking on somebody's door, I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing? My name's Freddie. How's your day going? I'm just here to etc. etc." I would have never done that before. I'm not a waver in my personal life. I don't smile or wave too much, but this job has given me some kind of skill sets that, or for people skill sets, socialization wise at least,
Yeah.
um, a lot better. Sorry for rambling on about that part.
No, you're good. I think it's a good networking kind of skill set
Yes,
to get.
that was literally going to be my next approach. That was my transition into networking. So one of the main things that we do here, or another thing that we also pay attention to, is going to be our travel and networking. For travel, we get to travel quite a bit. If it's not us, it's other offices to us. We were number one for a couple weeks, for about a month straight. So
Mm.
we had the privilege of going to Bakersfield, going to Dallas, going to San Diego, and we also went to Sacramento to train their offices because we were doing so good. They wanted to get some of the we like using the word juice. They wanted to get some of the juice that we have in order for them to get trained a little bit better. Um,
Mm,
and for those situations, the company pay for everything. They pay for the Airbnb, the rental, the booking, whatever it is that we needed for us to take care of, get taken care of to be sent into those locations. The company covered everything.
oh, okay, I see.
Okay. Besides that, they also do a yearly retreat for all the people that are working their way into management or have the kind of mentality that we are looking for our
Mm.
managers. And they send them out to a yearly retreat in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. This
Oh,
year, they're going, actually, this month now, next month, from May 16th to the 19th, they're sending out a bunch of people that are either, like I said, in their management or on their way to management with that kind of mentality that they're looking for. And they just pay for their booking, their rental, their flight, everything's covered. They rented out a resort, the Hard Rock Hotel, in the Dominican Republic, so
oh,
all the people that are going can just stay in that hotel.
oh,
We had so many people they had to rent out a second hotel just down the beach,
mm,
which is pretty awesome. Like I said, the company covers everything, and at this point, you're also doing networking because, like I said, they're inviting managers that have been through the program, have finished the program, and have excelled at it. Because there's people that don't just stop at managerial levels; they go into the
yeah.
regional and national levels as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How do you feel about having those kind of opportunities to travel and not just travel, but to network with people that have been through the program and actually have been extremely successful with our program?
Yeah, I think it's like a good experience to like kind of talk to other people in different offices and how they're doing and like their approach to things. So maybe you can learn something from them and they can learn something from you. And then also, like you said, it's a good networking opportunity kind of a thing.
Yeah, because there's one key phrase that we say for ourselves is your net worth is your network is your net worth. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter how good you are at something. If you're not able to reach out to talk to somebody that's even better than you are, you're gonna flounder at one point or another.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate that you understand that part of networking as well. Okay, the last thing I can really talk to you about is going to be our culture. So for our culture, I know I went into networking a little bit, but for culture, you can hear the noise in the background, right? The music, the people
yeah.
cheering earlier. So for us, we're always going to be an extremely positive, upbeat kind of environment. We are the reason why we're like this is because this program is not an easy program. It's an extremely hard program. So we want to be as positive as possible, as outgoing as possible. We want people to have that kind of mentality that's not going to let them just get down on themselves because they have to clock in, clock out. You're never going to see a single person drag their feet when they walk into the door. It's always going to be like, hey, how's your day going? Good morning. I'm glad to see you again. High five. Um,
Mm.
I don't know how you feel about that kind of environment, but I personally love it because for every single job that I had before, like I said, I was a manager. So people, every time they walk into the room, they would be quiet. They wouldn't talk to me in the same approach. And I was like, damn, like, what did I do to them today? I was like, but it wasn't anything that I was doing. It was just I had that kind of position where people had to act differently. Here, even the managers are talking to us the same way how we talk to each other, where they just want to see us be as positive as outgoing. Because if you have a pep in your step, you have a much more productive day than anything else.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that kind of environment where people are extremely supportive, inviting, and welcoming?
I think that's amazing. Like ultimately, where I want to work, I want to feel like comfortable there. I want to go into the office and like want to start working and things like that. I don't want to just go in, clock out, and like just consider it as like, oh, it's my job. I kind of want to learn and want to be there, kind of a thing. So I think it's great.
And that's a fact. I remember waking up to my regular job. I would wake up at 8 a.m. and I had to be at work at 9, I wouldn't show up till 11 sometimes because I hated my job. So I'm being honest with you. Now when I have at this job, I wake up at 5 in the morning sometimes.
Oh, wow.
I wake up 5 in the morning. I jump out of the bed and I'm like, what can I do to get my day started? That's how happy
Mhm.
I am to actually come to the location where we're at. But I completely understand what you're saying because you just want to come with that energy. Right?
Yeah.
Um, that really wraps up the whole program interview. If I'm being honest, Jennifer, do you have any questions for me?
Um, I don't think I do at the moment, but I think maybe I will later.
Okay.
Is there like an email I can reach out to if I have any other questions or
I
the
was
same?
literally thank you for saying that because I was literally going to follow up with that part. So right now, you for whatever situation arises later on in the future, if you get brought on board, you're going to be working directly with me. So any kind of question you have, I'm going to be helping you train. I'm going to be the main person that's going to be showing you the ropes. I will have other people help you out as well because just for the whole networking thing, we just want people to work the best way possible. All right.
Mhm.
So if you do have any questions later on in the future, you can easily reach out to me. If you have any concern, likewise. Okay. So right now, I do have a couple questions for you. This is going to determine whether I pass on these notes to our hiring director or if I just leave it as is. So right now, the main thing, Jennifer, I do know you got to work with your parents before in their field, but what's one of the biggest hardships you've ever had to face that lets you believe that you can work with our company and actually finish this extremely difficult program that we have?
Hardships, I would say, in the same kind of way, I was a little bit introverted. So there was an opportunity that came to me where it's like the same approach where it's door to door, but we were selling like solar panels. And initially, I kind of shied away from it. I was like, I don't want to go out and like talk to all these people and things like that. But I went to the interview. I kind of just pushed myself to go there. And then talking to everybody in that kind of space too, and how welcoming everybody was, I think it kind of brought out like me being more comfortable. And then I kind of got to learn more skills like that they taught us. So, biggest hardship also working with my parents is like, um, kind of letting them take control or just listening and like doing what they say kind of a thing, but then I had my own personal ideas and things like that, and learning to speak up and like share and things like that, I think was something valuable that is useful in any other field that I go into. And yeah.
I really like those answers, Jennifer. I really appreciate them. I especially like the whole part where you had to go from being a follower to being a leader with your parents, because that's practically what we are as children. We're followers, then we have to grow to be leaders. Your mentality shows me, and it lets me know that you would be a great leader in any kind of category. All right, all right. So thank you for sharing that with me. One last question, Jennifer. Why should we consider you as a candidate for? Why should MCOS Enterprises consider you for as a candidate for our program?
It's a great question. So I think coupled with kind of like my background and my knowledge, I think I'd be valuable to the company, but as well as like kind of my growth mindset. I like learning as much as possible, especially like particularly in a field that I'm interested in. If it was something else, kind of like science, maybe not really, but um, for this field, like when I want to learn something, I'm kind of very thorough with everything. Like to learn as much as possible. I could spend like hours and hours doing my own research and things like that. So um, I think this is a great opportunity for me and something I'm very interested in. So I know I would work hard and I know I would like follow through with everything, get to know as much as possible, and really try to grow in this field. So I think kind of like the mindset is very important. That would make me valuable.
I highly agree with a lot of your points right now. I don't think I left anything out from what you said, but I personally believe on the same set as you do. Mindset, the most important thing. You can be an extremely
Right.
knowledgeable person. You can have an amazing background. You can be the most learned person ever, but if you don't have the mindset where you believe and have blind faith in yourself, everything goes sideways.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
Well, that really wraps up the whole program interview for me, Jennifer. I really appreciate your time. Do you have any questions for me before I wrap this up?
Um, no, I do not.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm glad I was able to answer most of the questions that you had at the moment. Like I said, if you do have any questions going on further down the line, go feel free to reach out to me. Okay. Unfortunately for me, I don't make this the last call. I really like this interview. I especially liked you. Your mentality is amazing. I like your charismatic way as well. Even though you just told me you used to be an introvert, I really don't see it. But then again, you could say the same thing about myself. Um, Thank you very much for your time. Okay, Jennifer. So right now we do get over 500 resumes per week, and we only move on with the top 5% to the second round interview. So congratulations for getting this far. Unfortunately, I don't make that last call. I did make a lot of great notes for you though, so I would be surprised if they don't reach out to you anytime soon. But if they do reach out to you, they'll let you know whether they went on board. They're going on board with you or going with a different candidate. They'll let you know between today and the next couple of days. They'll call